roaring lion. He's not the roaring lion. He's as. That means it's just wind coming up out of his mouth. There's no power behind it, okay? It says, when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive. And running under a certain island, which is called Claudia, we had much work to come by the boat, which when they had taken up, they used helps, ungirding the ship, and fearing lest they should fall into the quicksand, strake sail, and so were driven. So you got to understand with where you're at. Sometimes when you're asking God for something, and you ain't seen it happen yet, don't get discouraged. Don't lose heart. Don't fret because you end up down in the quicksand. You'll lose the faith that was there. You got to keep the faith at the helm. God's in control of the ship. You got to keep your faith in control of the helm, okay? Don't lose your faith. No matter how bad it seems to be going on right now. It says, and we being exceedingly tossed with the tempest, the next day they lightened the ship. And that's what's about to take place. This is talking about a future tense here. This already happened, but I'm telling you, this is the next day. When this message gets done, that will be, so to speak. The message is done. This would be your next day, your next hour, the next minute, okay? You're going to have a change here. The third day, we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship. This is a new opportunity here in a dark disguise. Watch this. And when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away. Come on, God loves to work when it seems like there's no way at all. Come on. You remember when the children of Israel were at the Red Sea? Oh, come on. God waited for them to get trapped at the Red Sea just so He could show Himself strong. And that's all He wants to do here. It seems like you're in your darkest hour, but God's about to show Himself strong here. Come on, somebody. But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, Sirs, you should have hearkened unto me, and not have loosed from Crete to have gained this harm and loss. And now I exhort you to be of good cheer. That means be encouraged. That's what I'm telling you. Be encouraged here. For there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship. Come on, there's some things in our flesh we need to get rid of here. It ain't just people in here with sickness. There's other things in here we need to get rid of out of our ship, okay? We got to lighten the load here. For there stood by me this night the angel of God. I like that because this shows the strength of the anchor right here. For there stood by me this night an angel of God, whose I am and whom I serve. This is the secret of your safety right there. Whose you are and who you serve. Come on. He says, saying, Fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar. And I like it because this brother here brought out something that if you have a destiny, I don't care what's going on. If it ain't your time to go, you ain't going. If God gave a word to you when you were young, and He spoke something that was going to take place in your life, I don't care what's going on in your life, it's got to take place. If a prophecy was spoke over you, it has got to take place. There's a must be for you to be in what you're in right now. It's to reach somebody that's lost. Most of the time, this is what happened here with Paul. He was put on that ship with 276 men as a prisoner. Right now, you're bound, okay, with sickness. Let's, so to speak, you're bound with the chains of sickness on you in your ship, okay? But there's other people around you on board that are watching how you're handling your situation, okay? You got to understand what's about to take place with Paul here. It's about to take place for you. God ain't no respecter of person here. He says, saying, Fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar, and to God hath given thee all them that sail with thee. Because once God gives you your miracle, you have no idea how many souls that's going to win. You have no idea who in here is going to get encouragement or strength or whatever it is that you're lacking in here that you need. How it's going to change somebody else's life. Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe God that it shall be even as it was told me. The Word. He's talking about the Word. Come on. Howbeit, we must be upon a certain island. Here he is with that must again. This has got to take place because the Word has already been spoke. But when the 14th night was come, and as we were driven up and down in Adria, about midnight, the shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country, and sounded and found it 20 fathoms. And when they had gone a little further, they sounded again and found it 15 fathoms. Then fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks, they cast 4 anchors out of the stern and wished for the day. And as the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, when they had let down the boat into the sea, centurion and to the soldiers, "Except these abide in the ship, you cannot be saved." Then the soldiers cut off the ropes of the boat and let her fall off. There's some things in here you need to cut off here tonight. When you come up here, you expect to get what you came to this church to get. Cut the fear off, cut the unbelief off, cut the doubt off. Get rid of whatever spirit is in there so that you can have whatever God told you can have here tonight. And while the day was coming on, Paul besought them all to take meat. And I'm beseeching you, take this meat that I'm bringing to you here tonight, because it is meat for your bones here. This day is the 14th day that you have tarried and continued fasting, having taken nothing. Wherefore I pray you to take some meat, for this is for your health. Come on, somebody. That's where your healing's coming from the Word. That's where your health's coming from. Thank you, Jesus. Praise God Almighty. Hallelujah. For there shall not a hair fall from the head of any of you. And when he had thus spoken, he took bread, and he gave thanks to God in the presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. Then were they all of good cheer, and they also took some meat. And we were in all in the ship 216 souls. And when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship. Come on, after you get a word, you can get rid of stuff, can't you? And cast out of the weed into the sea. And when it was day, they knew not the land, but they discovered a certain creek with a shore into which they were minded, if it were possible to thrust in the ship. And when they had taken up the anchors, they committed themselves unto the sea, and loosed the rudder bands, and hoisted up the mainsail to the wind, and made toward shore. Don't you understand that? When they had taken up the anchor. If you would take Christ, He's the strength of the anchor. I don't care what sea you are cast into right now. I don't care how bad the waves are coming at you right now. If you would take the strength of the anchor, my God, you will make it through this storm. I promise you, you'll make it through the storm. Hallelujah, Jesus. It says, and when it was day, they knew not land, but they discovered a certain creek with a shore, into the which they were minded, if it were possible to thrust in the ship. And when they had taken up the anchors, they committed themselves unto the sea, and loosed the rudder bands, and hoisted up the mainsail to the wind, and made toward the shore. And fallen into a place where two seas met. And that's showing me right here. Somebody in here is in a valley of decision. Somebody in here is believing, and somebody in here ain't. There's two seas, there's two ways in here right now. You want to take the right road. Okay, you want to take the road. Take your faith. It'll take you. It'll be the strength of the anchor. It'll take you through the storm. Don't follow the fear and unbelief and doubt like this brother was talking about. Don't follow the wrong voice here. If you follow the wrong voice, you're going to find yourself dying and going to hell. You don't want that to happen. He says, and falling into a place where two seas met, they ran the ship aground, and the four parts stuck fast and remained unmovable. Can you catch that? Because God is unchangeable. What did I read to you over there in Hebrews? He's unchangeable here. He's unchangeable. He remains unchangeable. But the hinder part was broken with the violence of the winds. Come on, that's something that you've let go here. Part of the ship that was weighing you down is broke off of you now. Okay? You're not going to be moved no more by this. Hallelujah. And the soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim out and escape. But the centurion, willing to save Paul, kept them from their purpose, and commanded that they which could swim should cast themselves first into the sea and get to land, and the rest, some on boards, some on broken pieces of the ship. And so it came to pass that they escaped. How many? All. Say it again. All. That means there was none lost here. This is where this ends. And what I wanted you to see here, the rest, some on boards, okay, some on broken pieces. I invited people in here that I know personally that have the Holy Ghost, and I know for a fact that they have a good anointing. And when I call for anybody up here that wants prayer, I don't know nothing about y'all's church, but I do believe in casting out of devils. I believe the signs will follow the believers. I live by the Word. It is the Word. That's what it says. And if someone comes up with a demon in them, that demon's leaving. And that's just as plain and simple as it is. So if you don't want to come up and lay hands and cast devils out, don't come to the front. I want somebody with power. Everybody knows who I called to come here tonight that has anointing. I want all of you to the front. If you got the Holy Ghost, there ain't no reason for none of you to be sitting in your seat. Because if the power of God is in you, it's not you that live, but it is Christ, the hope of glory. It's Him that'll do the work, not you. It just needs to work through your vessel. So right now, I want whoever, Anita, come on up and do my altar song. Calvin, go up and play for it. I want whoever has a need in here. I don't know none of this, but I know whoever in here came with an expectation. You're not leaving here the way you came. You're getting what you came here for, and it's as simple as that. We walk by faith, not by sight. Not by sight. When I was telling you that story about that kid, they give him up to die, but you know he's out of the hospital walking around. Woo! Glory to God. Wouldn't you know, there was a guy in the next bed dying, and their family called my family and said, would you have them pray for us? So I went before God and I said, God, do you have a word? Do you have a word for this person? And he took me to the nobleman's son, and he told me to tell them to go lean over that man's body and read the story of the nobleman's son. And I said, the nobleman says that he ain't going to die. He lives. But you know, that man got out of the hospital before the other one did. Praise Jesus. He's here to build your faith up, to show you he's still alive. He's still on the throne. He's still healing. He's still saving here today. Shirley, why don't you come up front too? I want to pray for you. I surely do. I want to pray for you when you come in the door and I disobeyed God. So I want to pray for you first. Okay?
Crossing the calm sea.